I'm really excited to be here this evening to share my experience of being a data BA and how my journey, what I learned from my journey, and hopefully my experience will be helpful to you. I like to share 3 interesting things about me. First, I'm an active person. I finished more than 40 half or full marathon. Most of them are half. I just finished 10 full marathon. And that's how I met Sophie. I met Sophie in a running group in Wellington. Yeah. And this Everest base camp a few years ago. It's quite a long time ago. And I'm also a quite resilient person. I finished 2 master's degrees from University of Auckland. I recently finished my MBA degree from Boston University. There's some interesting thing that can describe me is I'm very resilient. I finished my 2 master degree from Auckland University, but I recently just finished my MBA degree from Boston University. And I'm not a good student back then when I was in undergraduate. I failed my Maths 101 and Maths 102, but eventually I got my master degree in statistics with first class honor. Indeed, I have 3 first class honor master degree, not just one. And another interesting fact about me is I'm really a dedicated self-learner. I finished more than 200 online certificate, and I have 183 online certificate on my LinkedIn profile. I spend time to learn every day. I dedicate time to learn. Even this evening, I learn something before I go to this meeting. So I'm very passionate to help people to learn. And we have a very busy evening because I will go through all these things. So our data BA is just a BA. He used the data skill to understand and interpret pattern in business and point the insight from the data analysis to improve and define the business process. Apart from this, they also spend a lot of time to use the data skill to help to the business identify area of growth, optimization, and improve the business process. A data BA utilized database tools such as SQL, as well as business intelligence tools such as Power BI Typo, and there's another data visualization tool such as SESVA, Looker, and even outside. Yeah. And this evening, I'm not going to talk about deep learning or machine learning or AI because data visualization and SQL, they are fundamental for data BA. And so this evening, I won't cover R or Python. And they are, if you want to learn R and Python, you can apply the method I taught you this evening. You can learn it yourself quite easily. And there's the holy trinity of business intelligence tool. This is Excel, SQL, and Power BI. And you can use SQL to extract data from relational database and use Excel to do some data cleaning and basic business metric and analysis. And then you upload your data to Power BI to do interactive dashboard. And there's some example of how data BA apply the data skill to help business to go. For example, fraud detection in financial transaction, customer churn analysis, supply chain optimization, and much more. And data skill is very transferable. If you have a good data skill, you can apply it to different industry, and they're very valuable. And why you want to be a data BA? First, money. Second, according to Harvard Business Review, data science is the sexiest job in the 21st century. And if you have good data skill, it's open up more career options for you. You can be a data analyst, BI consultant, insight analyst. There are much more. And learning data skill is indeed easy and free. And my personal experience is I didn't learn SQL and Power BI from my university degree. Even I majored in statistics, but I didn't learn them in uni. I learned them when I was working, but I first started my career using SAS. I learned SQL and Power BI in my spare time, and then I applied SQL and Power BI to solve business problems in work environment, and they are very, very useful skill and very, very helpful for my career. I will show you how to find valuable resources. And I'm not going to teach you how to use SQL and Power BI this evening because it will take me more than 8 hours. You don't have 8 hours, I don't have 8 hours this evening, and I'm hungry. I want to finish this talk and grab some dinner. But I will show you, give you some good advice how to be a learner, a cell learner, not just cell learner, it's an effective cell learner. So let's get started. So where can I find free and high quality training material? First is a library. I will explain it shortly. And then there's some free MOOC. MOOC is massive on open online course. And of course, last but not the least is the LinkedIn Learn. Not LinkedIn Learn, sorry, Microsoft Learn. Microsoft Learn is the official learning web page of Microsoft. And of course, you can download Power BI desktop, SQL Server Management Studio free. And also, I recommend you to download or connect to OpenAI ChatGPT. I will explain to you how to use ChatGPT to facilitate your learning shortly. Do you know if you have a library card, Oakland Library or Wellington Library, you can access to LinkedIn Learn account of the library. And there's 56 SQL courses on LinkedIn Learn and 44 Power BI courses on LinkedIn Learn. They are high quality material. They take normally 1 to 4 hours per courses, and I can vouch for them. They are good because I already did most of them. But the downside is that after you finish the course, you can't upload your certificate to LinkedIn Learn because this is the library account. Those certificates belong to the library. But apart from this, they are fabulous resources. Of course, you need to go to the MOOC platform. There's a lot of good SQL and Power BI course on edX, and you can audit those courses free of charge. What do you mean auditing? You can read all the video, watch all the video and read all the material of the entire course free of charge. But if you want a certificate, then they will charge you money. They will charge you $150 for the certificate of a course. I don't think it's worth it, and I don't think you need it. So you just spend your $150 on somewhere else. Another quick resource is Microsoft Learn. This is the fabulous resources, the best resources if you want to learn Power BI. They have a lot of free. They have a lot the training, the study guide, online training course, data set, and another online assessment. And if you want to get the certificate, it will charge you $150 for the Power BI certificate. But I can tell you, this is worth it. This is worth it. I recently passed the exam. But preparing for the exam is different for learning Power BI. The exam is a little bit tricky. I can talk about it later, but I can tell you this will help your career. I have a former colleague who do admin job, general admin, not data admin. She spent her spare time studying Power BI and get this certificate. She transitions to a data analyst job within the same organization. So it is useful for your career, and this is a highly valuable certificate. After you got all the free resources, for example, training course and learning material, you need to find some free data set to learning by doing, because Power BI and SQL is not theory, it's not quantum physics. You can't just remember the theory and apply. You need to have hands-on experience. This is very, very important. So you need to find some good free data set that you can upload to your SQL Server, Management Studio, and Power BI desktop to learning by doing. And I need to recommend University of California Machine Learning Repository. There are more than there are hundreds of free and good data sets. You can just download and use them. And there's another good site is DataGraph, Google BigQuery public dataset, and Kaggle and GitHub. On Kaggle and GitHub, you can not just get the dataset. They often come with some problem and solution, so you can learn. And why you need free and open data? Because you can practice your skill on them freely. You don't need to worry about privacy and confidential information issue. After you use those data set to finish some project, for example, you can show your final product or dashboard to anyone. You don't need to worry about the breach of privacy or any other issue if you use free and open data. Next please. And there's some fabulous resources, problem and solution. You can use them to practice your SQL skill. For example, LeetCode, SQL School, More Analytics SQL School, WS School, they are very good resources. You don't need to sign for premium service. The basic is just good enough. And of course, Microsoft Power BI community. This was paid the data story gallery. They have a lot of very fancy Power BI report and dashboard. And you will get inspired, but you don't need to follow the footsteps because a lot of them are not very practical. But anyway, they are very inspiring. And of course, Power BI desktop sample. They are sample data set that's designed for Power BI desktop. Those data sets are meant to help you to practice experience with Power BI feature. Remember, what I'm talking about is not ETL, data ingestion, data integration, or data pipeline. Those are back-end data engineering tasks. What I'm talking about is those front-end easy tasks. Data extraction, dashboarding, data visualization. Those are easy, not time-consuming. You just need to spend 20 hours to learn SQL query and another 20 hours to learn Power BI. Then you is good enough. You will be good enough to get the job done. So you don't need to invest a lot of resources on it. And those are in agile methodologies is the low-hanging fruit or quick win. You can't miss them. You need to grab them. You just go to grab the fruit from the tree. And after you got all the resources, for example, training course, problem and solution, and free data set, you need to get motivated to study. No matter how many resources you got, if you don't do anything about it, it means nothing to you. I already talked about some extrinsic motivation, for example, money, job, and career. But for long-lasting motivation, you need to find some intrinsic motivation to motivate you. How I motivate myself, I always try to connect with people who I think they are inspiring. I think they motivated me. I remember the story. When I get stuck, I will remember how those people, they overcome the challenge. And from being a layman to be an expert. And I always, when I get into some trouble or when I'm not get what I want, I think about the story. And I think the founder or co-founder of this meetup group, Sophie, is an inspiring story. Yes. And I think this initiative, the BA Career Meetup Group, is really a great idea. And I can tell you another example. Former colleague of mine, he is an engineer. And he spent his spare time just study Python, R, SQL, Power BI. and he's use his spare time to do some project, to find some data, do some project, and then he showcase what he have done to some potential employer, and eventually he get a BA, a data BA job within my former organization. And then he keep working, he keep using his data skill to solve problem, to proactively solve business problem. Now he is a principal analyst in another big government agency. It's just take him 4 to 5 years. So he's just started his journey 4 to 5 years ago. And he is not shy. He is very brave, yeah. And he know how to market himself. And so if you follow some good example, you will be successful, trust me. And another method I motivate myself is I think about the cost of doing nothing. We, as a human being, we are not very excited about what we can gain, but we feel very painful for what we lose, what we are losing. Think about some example. When you buy a new pair of Gucci shoes or a new LV handbag, you feel very excited for maybe just 1 week. But after a month, you don't feel anything about your new pair of shoes or LV handbag. But think about the example, the last time you get laid off. The last time you get to the second interview, but you eventually get rejected for the job that you really, really, really want. Then or the time that your girlfriend or boyfriend pick up with you, then you feel very painful, and it's not very long, can be months or even years. So an effective way to motivate yourself is to think about what you will lose if you don't take this opportunity, not what you will gain when you take this opportunity. Think about data skill. This is not that difficult to learn. This is the benefit is very high. You don't need a degree to do it. So the cost benefit ratio is very high. So you can't afford the not doing anything for it, because you will lose a lot if you just don't take any action. Now you get very motivated. You feel very high, very, very high. But in a few months, if you don't make any progress, then you will feel very down. So another way to keep you moving is keep on making progress. So how to keep on making progress is, this is manageable. It's not something you can't manage. It's to develop a lot of stretch goals. Stretch goal is a lot of small, challenging but achievable goal. Small, challenging but achievable. Don't try to do big things. Try to do small things first. If you develop a lot of stretch goal and accomplish those stretch goals, it will give you a sense of making progress, and then will keep your momentum going. And you need to adapt the data BA identity today. Identify yourself as a data BA, even though you are not good at data skill or you are not a data BA at this moment. But you need to identify their identity now and make a daily progress, one step at a time. And we always say fake it until you make it. But you need to have faith in yourself, because you are in control. If you're making progress one step at a time, you will eventually make it. And another way I motivate myself, I always think about, I will be an inspiring story to another people. Maybe not now, maybe in 3 months or in 6 months. And we are in a journey of bettering ourselves. We learning by doing, learning by teaching. We show our team, our company, and our community what you have learned, what we can do, and what we have done. So you need to think about, if you keep doing a little thing, a small thing, you will be an inspiring story or a role model or example and other people in the near future. So it will keep you motivated. And you get very motivated That's very good, but you need to study effectively. Otherwise, you will be demotivated if you don't make any progress. So, how to study effectively? For me, I developed a study plan. This is my real study plan for study the PL300 Power BI exam. So I just go to the Microsoft website and download the study guide and then put it, copy and paste it on Excel spreadsheet. And then I just use some color to remind myself. For example, blue is the topic that I need to study on this day, and the green is the topic that I need to do some revision on this day. And yellow is something that I really think is really difficult. I need to do more revision. And red is something I get stuck. So I need to get some help, ask some people, do more exercise. So over time, I have a roadmap for my progression, and also have a blueprint of my strength and weakness that I can focus on. We need to address our weakness, but we need to understand what our strength is. Yeah. So this is important. And after we have a study plan, we need to dedicate time to study. Some people, they think they like to study in the morning, but for myself, I'm not a morning person. I'm an evening person, so I don't want to study so I need to study in the evening. And you can find any time you feel comfortable. And then after you find some time, you need to really focus, really concentrate on your study. I use the method is very common. It's called Pomodoro method. It's very simple. You choose some topic you study and dedicate 25 minutes on it. And during this time, you completely focus. You don't check your cell phone. You don't do Facebook. You don't do LinkedIn. You don't even drink water, or just study. Then you take a 5-minute break. Then in the 5 minutes, you can do some cell phone, do some train me, but don't spend too much money on train me. It's okay. And then you do another session. Then that's it. That's it for the day. If you really busy, you can just do one section, 25-minute session per day. Then it's okay. But think about it. 15 minutes per day, 6 days a week. I assume you take a rest day. Yeah. And 50 weeks a year. I assume you don't want to study during New Year and Christmas. Then you have 250 hours a year. It's more than enough for you to study SQL and Power BI. You can even study a degree for this. And how I remember things, I don't put the information into my brain to remember. Effective way to memorize things is to get the information out of your brain so you remember. So how I do is I use the method is called active recall. In preparation, I read the textbook notes or resources and highlight and make notes on key concept definition and details. Then in memorize, then I do summarize and question. I summarize the material in my own work and turn the main point into question. Then I do hide and text. I cover up the material. Then I attempt to recall the answer to the question that I just formulated. I try to explain the concept as if I was teaching them to someone else. Then I check and learn. After attempt to recall, I check the answer again, the material. I identify every that I'm correct and where I make mistake. And then I do repeat and spacing. Repeat the active recall session over time, spacing out the session. And this helped me to capitalize on spacing effect and reinforce my memory. Finally, last but not the least, teach other. I will try to teach other. I will you need to try to teach your college, teach your boss, try to teach your boss, teach your parents, teach your husband and wife, teach your girlfriend and boyfriend, and you even can try to teach imaginary friends. You can teach imaginary friends, teach he or she, the concept you just learned. You can even speak out loud when you're teaching. But don't do it in public. Just do it at your house. Otherwise, people will find you crazy. But talking to yourself is very effective, trust me. And you need to learning by doing, because I say SQL and Power BI is not some quantum physics. You can't just remember the key concept and then think you can handle the real situation. You need to learning by doing. You need to find some real example, real exercise, real data set, and to do it. And why it's important? Because learning by doing can help you remember active engagement, improve information retention. And also, it will help you improve your problem-solving skill. Learning by doing will improve your overall problem-solving skill, not just Power BI and SQL skill. And also, potential employer, they value practical experience. Demonstrate your skill to work with data set, write SQL query, and create meaningful visualization can make you more attractive to potential employer. And it's help you adapt to real data. Because data set in the real world, they are often very messy. They are not clean data. So working on real problem help you to know how to clean up the data, how to do data transformation, and how to analyze them effectively. And it's help you build your confidence after you learning by doing. And last time I meet you, you speak loud, but not too loud. Yeah. And the most important point is help you build your portfolio. Sorry, just going back. Build your portfolio. Because you spend all the time learning by doing. Then you need to see, you can't just let all your project or dashboard into a folder that you can't find. Or worse, you delete all your work you have done. You need to select the great project, good project, and put them into a portfolio. Then you can show your portfolio to the potential employer. You can send them the link, or you can even bring your portfolio with you to the job interview. If they allow you to demonstrate, you demonstrate what you have done to them. This is create a portfolio is an effective way to utilize your time and resources, because they are, even though you have 250 hours per year, but it's still a limited resources. You need to use them wisely. And learning by doing, how to use ChatGPT to facilitate your learning. You can ask ChatGPT question. If you have a piece of SQL query you don't understand, or some text or M language from Power BI you don't understand, you can ask ChatGPT question. You can ask ChatGPT to debug your code, to help you how to improve your code. Next piece. I can show you an example. I want to explore code optimizer in SQL. You are writing a piece of SQL code to make it run faster. This is the real piece of code I use in my work environment. So, can you make the code faster? Can you make the code more cleaner? Sorry, this is grammar mistake. Can you make the code more readable? Explain to me within 200 words. This is what ChatGPT give me. It's give me a improved version of my code and give some explanation what this code is doing. So if you have a piece of SQL query you don't understand, you just ask ChatGPT to explain it to you. If you have a piece of SQL code is not working, you can ask ChatGPT to debug it for you. If you have a piece of code you want to improve it, you can ask ChatGPT for help. In the future, there are two types of people. The first group of people, they use AI to do their job or help them to do their job. The second group of people, they don't. I want you to be the first group of people. So now all the hard work, you learn the skill, you have some project, you build up your portfolio. and maybe you get some certificate. So how to showcase your skill? The easy way is to share your certificate on your LinkedIn profile. You don't need to be no very difficult certificate, even easy certificate, share those certificate from LinkedIn Learn, you can share on your LinkedIn profile. But this is not a good way. This is not an effective way to showcase your skill. So what is more effective way? Is you need to, for example, create some project, create some topic. You can give a presentation in your team meeting. Your team meeting first. Then you feel more confident. You can go to another professional meeting to share what you have learned, what you can do, and what you have done to people to show your skill. I think a lot of you, they are working in a large organization. There must be some meeting or meetup for the IT professional and data professional. So you need to go there, not just eat their food. Of course, apart from refreshment, you need to go to share your knowledge, go to collect with them, ask them a lot of questions, and know those people, and better, you go to do some presentation, do some talk, to show you are really committed person, your passion, your enthusiasm. You don't need to be perfect, but you need to do something. You just go to do some presentation. Yeah. And there's not a simple way to get a data BA job. But simply put, you need to hustle. You need to hustle. You need to go to hang out with some data people, data professional, IT professional. Go to the meeting to know them, to mingle with them, ask a lot of questions. And better, you just, I repeat, you need to go there to give some talk and presentation. But most importantly, is you need to proactively discover business problem. You can apply your data skills to solve and show your skill to those boss people. Boss people, not just your boss. Boss people is the people who have authority to hire. And you need to, if there's a vacancy, you are interested in your organization, you need to cold call the hiring manager, ask him or her a lot of questions, and show you are interested. And they will give you a lot of information. For example, what kind of people they're looking for, what kind of skill you are lacking. And even though you are not a suitable candidate, you will get a lot of information to improve yourself. So you need to hustle and fake it until you make it. And we are all in a journey of personal and professional development. And getting rejection is almost inevitable. But rejection doesn't listen our worth. So do the stuff I told you, sharpen your skill and grab any opportunity you got. And never reject yourself. Let other people reject you, but you never reject yourself. Let other people reject you. And job hunting is similar to dating. If you want to date a pretty girl, pretty woman, go to gym, get a job, put yourself together, take care of yourself, and then ask her out. If she reject you, it's okay. Let the pretty girl reject you, but you don't reject yourself. Never self-reject. And remember, you need to do something. You just need to start now. Just go there and start learning some data skill. Just start from today, start for a course. And do something. Do something is better than you do nothing. If you just go there to listen to my talk and then you don't do anything, you just wait the 45 minutes of your life this evening to achieve nothing. And this is one of the favorite quote I want to share with you. Yeah, if you are able to not give a fuck about the pain your goal requires, then you become unstoppable. Unstoppable. The moment when you don't give a fuck and take action are often the moment that will define the course of our life. So just start now, do something. Okay, I have homework assignment to every one of you. So the first rule of BA Career Meetup is to talk about BA Career Meetup. The second rule of BA Career Meetup is to talk about BA Career Meetup. But seriously, I want you tonight, you will download Power BI Desktop and SQL Management Studio now. Tonight, not tomorrow. Just after the meeting, you just go to download them. And bookmark the Microsoft Learn Excel courses and the library LinkedIn Learn page just after the meeting. Don't wait until tomorrow. And find some free data set and problem online and practice your skill. And from tomorrow, I give you an 8-hour break. Think about how to apply your new data skill to solve business problem proactively and often. And in 3 months, show your teammate what you have learned and what you can do and what you have done in the team meeting. You don't need to be perfect. So don't need to be perfect. You just need to be presentable. Yeah. And in 6 months, for a certificate, Power BI certificate exam, so that we still have 4 months. I hope learning data skill will be a top choice you have been waiting for. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Peter. So we still have time, so we move to the next session about Q&A. Just give me a second. I'll bring up the Slido board, see how many questions has been posted. So the top question is, any recommended courses, certificate, action step to strengthen knowledge and skills into the role as a data BA?
I think the PL300 Power BI Data Analysis Associate certificate is very useful. But I say you need to really study for the exam, not just study for Power BI. So you need to find some good resources, yeah, and really spend time to dedicate time on it and learn SQL. Because now Microsoft is discontinue those SQL exam, but you can still find a lot of very high quality courses that you can do. For example, from Coursera and edX. Yeah.
Thanks. And then what are the top 5 skills required as a data business analyst?
You need to have problem solving skill. You need to understand stakeholder engagement, because you need to understand what the stakeholder want. Sometimes they don't really exactly know what they want. You need to help them to find out what is the business solution available for their problem. And also you need to have a good writing skill and good communication skill, because you need to talk to the stakeholder often to present what's the progress and clarify the requirement. And also, you need to have good database skill, so you can just go to the data set of the business to identify potential to identify insight that you can use to improve the business. And last but not the least, Excel skill is very, very important. Because even though I talk about SQL and Power BI, a lot of data set is still in the SQL form. And a lot of people, they prefer your report in Excel. So Excel skill is really, really fundamental. But I don't have time to talk about Excel this evening. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. So this problem-solving skill, stakeholder management, writing skill, and data set skill plus Excel skill. Hope you note them down. And next one is, what is the difficult part as a data BA, and what do you enjoy the most being in this role?
I think the easy part is the technology. And the difficult part is the people. So you need to be a good people person. and think about apply those agile methodology into your daily life. For example, the Agile Manifesto, I think, is the most important Agile tool that you can use. You need to remember the principle. The Agile Manifesto is just 76 words, but it is very important. You need to collaborate with your user to develop solution. You need to think about the document. They are living document. They are not just a contract. And your solution is a living solution. It's not just some solution that will not change. You need to adapt to the situation. I think technology is simple. Power BI is simple, and how to deal with people, how to work with stakeholder, how to get a business requirement, and how to communicate. Those are skills often ignored by a lot of people, and because they spend a lot of time thinking about how to learn SQL, how to learn Power BI, how to do some R, how to do this, do some cloud computing as Azure. Yeah, but if you want to get promoted, the soft skill is more important than the technical skill.
Okay, thanks, Peter. So agile methodology will be a extended topic for us to explore.
Yep.
And next one, as starter and fresh to data analyst, does those certification help to find a job?
As I say, the PL300 is very useful, but also you should create some skill portfolio. You can download the data set as I recommend, and then you just work on it. You just use your Power BI skill to create something creatively, and hopefully they are also beautiful and useful for the business. Then you can show to the potential employer you can do this kind of thing. Yeah, that will be useful. And a lot of jobs, the vacancy, they are within your organization. So you have opportunity to know the hiring manager, to show him what you have done. So you don't need to go outside for external organization. You need to first focus on the job vacancy within your organization. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. The next one is how to prepare a data analytical project to showcase during the interview.
You need to think about what the business problem they want to solve. What was, for example, if is this customer churn analysis, is the issue of a business, and then you get some data set related to this topic, and do something on it, do a dashboard, do a Power BI report on it, and show your creativity, and you also understand the business. So you understand the business, and also show you are very earnest person. You don't just do some fancy thing that's not related to the business. For example, you pick some visualization that is easy to understand and really show the insight of the data, not some visualization that is very fancy, but it's very hard to understand. So you need to always tailor for the job vacancy that you are applying for. You just can't just take some very generous report or dashboard to your job interview. You need to you don't have this in your portfolio. You need to apply your skill quickly, grab a data that's related to this business or similar to this business, and then do something on it, and then bring it to the interview to show them, if they allow you to show them. But yeah, and you can ask them beforehand before the interview, can I show you what I have done? Yeah, if they say yes, then you can show them.
Okay, cool, thank you. Just make it clear about what they are required, then just transfer insights into a readable diagram for your audience. So the next one is, what's your tips for getting the business to trust in the data insights you provide? Sometimes stakeholders like to avoid the data due to what it shows.
Yes, this is a good question. So you need to be honest, because sometimes it's not the data visualization. It's the data is the issue. So you can't torture the data to give you insight if there's no insight. You know what I mean? You need to manage the expectation of your stakeholder. If the data is really can't give you useful information, then you need to tell them. So you manage the expectation. And if you don't have the data to solve the business problem, you need to think about where can I get the data? Can I get the data within the organization? Can I get the data outside the organization? And also you need to do a lot of data. After you get the data, you need to, for example, make sure the data is usable. Do a lot of data cleansing, transform the data into a format that people can understand, and maybe merge with another internal external data to make the data more provide the information. And the stakeholder who avoid the data, I don't think they really avoid the data, because I think they sometimes they think data scientists or data analysts, they can do the magic, but often we can't. So you need to be honest. For example, recently I working on analyze some text data, but those text data don't have much meaning, don't have any pattern. So I just talk to my stakeholder to tell them I can't do much about it. This is what I can do with the data. And yeah.
Thank you. Although it's already past 8 p.m., we just extended to the meeting to 10 past 8. Hope it's all good for you. So we'll answer the next 2 questions, then we will finish the event. The next one is, how and where can I find the study buddies for data analysis?
Oh, you can. I believe you can find a study buddy in this BA career group. I think a lot of people will be interested to form a study group, and you can always find it in your organization, in your company that you are working for. There are always some people, they want to improve themselves. Yeah, they have ambitions. Yeah, find some good buddy. This is important.
So, and the next one is, what is the career path for a data analyst?
In government agency, normally there's junior data analyst, and then data analyst, and then senior analyst, and then lead or principal analyst. Or you can become a manager, a team leader, and then information is always related to planning, and performance. After that, you can go to the planning or performance unit of the organization. Yeah, promote to senior manager in the unit. And also almost every major division of business, sales, human resources, operation, they lead a data team. They have a dedicated data team. So the career is, you can be the manager of the dedicated data team. And also, if you are more ambitious, you can study and have some experience of management and IT to become the CDO or CIO of the organization. But it will take more than just Power BI and SQL. Yeah, you need to be more technologies savvy. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Peter. I think we have 3 more questions here, but our time limited. And Peter, would you like to respond this in writing? Then we'll put in our follow-up email. Thank you so much. Thanks so much, everyone. just let me show we. I think I will show my PowerPoint, and thank you so much, Peter, to sharing your insight and for tonight. And thank you everyone for your patient understanding. Really appreciate that. So we would love to see you at our next event at 13th September at 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. And the speaker is Laura, and the topic is building career security as a business analyst, essential skills and strategies. The recording of this event will upload to our YouTube channel soon, and we'll send a follow-up email along with all these useful links to you, and welcome to leave a comment or any feedback on our Meetup channel so we can make progress next time. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you.
Thank you,
See
everyone.
you
guys.
next
Thank you, everyone.
time.